In today's lesson, we will be converting rates and measurements. So we have one piece of vocabulary today. It is called dimensional analysis. So exactly what is dimensional analysis? It's basically just a method for comparing the relationship between two different units of measurements. It often includes converting one of the units. We will be using these things called a conversion factor. So for example, we know that in 1 hour there are 60 minutes. This is one example of a conversion factor that we use in dimensional analysis. Another one would be that we know in 1 foot, we know that there are 12 inches. This is just another example of a conversion factor. These are what we will be using with dimensional analysis. So the main point. Basically, I need you to write this down. When you're converting a specific unit, the unit in the conversion factor should be diagonal from the initial ratio. Then, after that, you multiply the fractions. So, in the below scenario, I want to convert the hours into minutes. This is what we're starting off with. This is our first ratio. I am currently going 120 miles per hour. I'm driving way over the speed limit. Driving 120 miles per 1 hour. This ratio shows 120 miles per hour. I want to convert it to miles per minutes. I want to convert it to minutes. So, we see down here, this is the conversion rate. I want to know how many hours or how many minutes are in 1 hour. So our conversion rate, remember, if we have hours down here, diagonally there must be hours. So diagonally must be hours. So if we have hours up at the top, if we have 1 hour, in 1 hour, how many minutes are there? In 1 hour there are 60 minutes. This is what our conversion rate is. So from here, the next step is to multiply the fractions. So remember when we multiply fractions, we just multiply straight across. So 120 times 1 is equal to 120. 1 times 60 is 60. But we need, so what we would have is 120 miles per 60 minutes. But we need to simplify this. We can divide both 120 and 60 by 60. So, when we do this, our answer is we would go 2 miles per 1 minute. This is what our final answer would be. This is just simplifying. So remember, with our conversion rates, this is our conversion rates. We want to change the hours into minutes. So the hours need to be diagonal. So here's one example that we have. Jack can paint 5 yards of fencing in 1 hour. How many inches does he paint per minute? So, our initial ratio that we have 5 yards per 1 hour. What do we need to find? We need to find inches per minute. So, we need to change yards to inches, and we need to change hours to minutes. Since we're doing that, we need two different conversion rates. So, let's start with this first conversion rate. We can either change yards to inches or hours to minutes, since hours to minutes are easier. So, remember, hours must be diagonal. So, in 1 hour, how many minutes are there? There are 60 minutes. And if it helps you, hours cancel out. All that we have left are the minutes. Now, we have minutes and minutes. So we've converted minutes to minutes. Now we need to convert yards to inches. So in this case, remember, if yards are up top, it needs to go straight down. We need to convert yards to inches. So, our conversion rate, we need to figure out how many yards or how many inches are in a yard. So with our conversion rate, in 1 yard, there are 36 inches. What might help you is in the back of the book, there are measurements, and it gives conversion rates. So flip all the way to the very back of the book. On the bottom left page, you'll see different conversions. So, we remember yards and yards, those cancel out, so all that we have left are inches and inches. Now, all we have to do is just multiply straight across. Let's do the bottom one first because it's easier. 1 times 60 times 1 is equal to 60. 5 times 1 times 36 is equal to 180. Now remember, we must simplify. So what is 180 and 60? If you simplify this, what are they both divisible by? They're both divisible by 60. So 180 divided by 60 is equal to 3, so it'll be 3 inches. 60 divided by 60 is 1, so it'll be 1 minute. So our final answer, once we convert, is in 3 inches. You can go 3 inches. Jack can paint 3 inches in 1 minute. So now I want you to try. I want you to complete this conversion and round to the nearest hundredth. It's 15 ounces, and I want you to convert the ounces into grams. To help you out, I've found the conversion rate for you already. In 1 ounce, there are 28 and 35 hundredths grams. Or if you want to say it a little bit easier, 28.35 grams. So, pause the video, unpause the video when you're ready to see what I've done. Alright, so the easiest way that we can set up this equation, we can write 15 ounces over 1. We can at least make a ratio just like that. Now, when we're multiplying, we need to remember our conversion rate needs to be in grams. Now our conversion rate right here, what is that? Our conversion rate is to 1 ounce, we have 28.35 grams. Now remember, we have ounces. Ounces go diagonally down, so ounces are in the bottom, grams are in the top. So we just copy down the conversion rate. 1 ounce, 28.35 grams. Now the ounces cancel out. All we have left with is grams. Now multiply from there. Remember, multiply straight across. 15 times 28.35. That is equal to 425 425 hundredths grams. So this is our final answer when we convert 15 ounces to 425 and 25 hundredths grams. So, quick little time for review. When you are changing units, make sure the unit in the rate you have in the original ratio is diagonal to the same rate in the conversion rate ratio.